And also on, I believe it was last council meeting, there was something in reference to go on the ballot for citizens to vote on. And I know Mrs. Toll-Free and certain others spoke, Ms. Toll-Free spoke in reference to what was the status of that piece of legislation. And I told them it failed because it required 4 votes. Anything that goes on the charter or go before the electors of the city requires 4 votes. And it's right here in the charter. And I will implore you to read it. And it says amendment to this charter may be submitted to the electors of the city by a 4/5 vote of the council. Period. 4/5.
Did you listen to the law director, Mr. Mays?
Well, she's sitting right there.
Okay.
She here, and it's my understanding. So I guess she took it down to the Board of Election, and I heard through the grapevine there will be a meeting, and I will be there, and I will point it out in the charter. And I've gone with law directors that we've had from Harvard and Yale and what have you, and I won the case because this is what the charter says. And you have to govern within the charter. You cannot govern outside of the charter because the charter is put in place by the electors. And every time the board, you go down and take it and think, what does your charter says? What does your law director says? Sometimes the law director gets it wrong. And I'm here to testify that they have gotten it wrong. And I have won many cases before the law directors, law directors that we had in this city. So I'm just advising you, as a counselor, I've been there, charted the roads, trying to tell you what pitfalls and humps in the road are here to circumvent other circumstances that happen. And so then I know some of you speak through, I'm not going to respond to the peanut gallery, but some of you have said things that be jailed. That's my constitutional rights. Everyone has a right to address any grievances they have with the city. That's the First Amendment. And so, and I hope that you will honor that. The citizen has the last say. Always remember.
Hello. Hi. My name's Janelle Scribner. I live at 149 Grandview Terrace. My neighbor, Virginia Russell, lives at 149-2600 Grandview Terrace. She has chickens, which are in violation of Code 505.16 and 17. I have, for the past 4 to 5 months, tried to have these chickens removed based on this ordinance. We're a small community. I don't know if anyone knows exactly where Virginia is. And with that, I want to piggyback on 4616 about the streets, i.e. Stanwood store. But I've tried to work through the prosecutor's office. She tells me that I need to go through the police department to cite them or cite her. Detective Delisle flat out told me to my face that he was not going to cite her. They've all been up there, they've all viewed, they've all seen. It's noisy, it smells, and it's 1.5 feet from my property line. She has the propensity to do what she wants when she wants, and enforcement seems to evade. Okay. She had hay delivered to her house last year. She says some kids set it on fire. I don't know. I almost lost the fence. When I put my fence up, and I got my permit legally first, her mother and her were taking pictures of the workers, their license plates, to the point where I had to call the police to have them physically put into their home. So I am asking council's help to get these chickens removed from her property. I would also encourage you not to pass it as a motion when it comes before you. I moved here from Colorado. I could have bought in any city in the state of Ohio that I wanted to. I came here to East Cleveland not only for the history, and not only for the homes, but East Cleveland in any other city, because of your location to downtown Cleveland, the closer you live to downtown, the higher your value in property is. Okay? But I will say this, infrastructure is an issue. Streets, i.e. primarily Stanwood, is, you talk about Sheldon and all these other, they don't come close to Stanwood. And for us on Grandview, that's our only access to our homes. It's not a private drive. It is maintained by the city. Trash, snow removal, etc. If you want East Cleveland to come up, farm animals isn't the answer. But the only other thing I'd like to know is how we could get Stanwood onto the street, because it has to be taken down to the bottom. So, I thank you.
All right, remarks from the mayor.
To the last resident, I believe that the building and housing department is going to pay a visit there, and that's the code enforcement arm for building and housing issues. So while the police may have come up, there, as far as the police can see, there probably was no crime being committed, but building and housing is a little bit different. So that'll.
Well, I had spoke to Mr. Bayless, if that's who you're referring to, and
It's not to respond. I mean, we can talk later. I was just letting you know that we have building and housing going out there. If you want to talk to me after the meeting or during the day tomorrow, that's fine.
Okay.
But we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it? All right, Councilman Martin.
I just wanted to say briefly, I won't spend a lot of time, I rise to speak. I've always been a proponent for young people. I've coached basketball, I've coached baseball, I've had a girls softball team. I've always enjoyed sports. I've always been involved with young people. That's why I've been a strong advocate for the educational channel. I do feel that we have delayed this thing. And I appreciate talking with you, Joey, about it and the rest of the council. We need to just act on it and move forward. And I'm hoping that maybe there could be collaboration down the way with the experience that Vanderbilt has, that they can work together on this. This is how community comes about. So I from the beginning, was my favorite. I'll sign anything to get the kids an opportunity. That's what it is, an opportunity to learn the video business, which is big in schools. I'm in the school now, and the video, the kids do a lot of video with the kids now. So I'm thankful that we have 3 votes now. So I'm hoping that we can get this done in the next few days and we can move forward. I also need to say this, that we have 17,000 residents in the city of East Cleveland. We have 12,800 registered voters, and our voting totals for the last 3 or 4 years is around 3,000 or 4,000. We've got to change that. And I want to say that I don't want Hillary Clinton taking us for granted, and then we definitely Donald Trump.